All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honor to apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the elect, which we hope to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaii from GMS Chicago. Pretty much got a quick little lesson. You know, the elder of my camp, the head of my camp, anyways, Brother Malcolm, he had did a sit down, you know, pretty much saying, you know, pretty much get past the, you know, the melanin situation, you know, and to spiritually grow. It's time to spiritually grow, you know. And in the comment board, you got people that's talking about you gotta, in order to be an Israelite, you got the man and the woman got to both be Israelites, or you can't be an Israelite if the man is Israelite, but the woman is a heathen. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that not true? That's not true. You know, because when it comes and that there's no such thing as mixed in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, you gotta ask yourself this: if King David's grandmother was which was Ruth, and she was a heathen from Moab. You know what I'm saying? Well, she was a Moabite. You know, how did he come out Judah still? How could he still claim the tribe of Judah if she was Moab and people believe mixed? You know, ain't no Judah, Ab, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Mo Judah, ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you are what your father is, you know. I want to start off with Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families. And when you go into that word pedigree, it's H3205, and it's the Yah, the La, and the Da, Yalad, and it says to bear, bring forth, beget, gender, travail, but beget, you know, to bear, bring forth, of childbirth, to beget, to be born, to cause a help to bring forth, to be born, to beget a child. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that when you read in scriptures, when it goes into different lineages, especially in the book of Chronicles, you know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to the book of Matthew, the first chapter in the New Testament, well, it says these are the generations of Yahushua. You know, and Salaki, this message is to you Negroes, Latinos, Natives, Puerto Ricans, and confusion of faces whose bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, whose spirit bear witness that they are a child of the Heavenly Father. And the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls Jehovah God. And the Heavenly Son's name is Yahweh Shai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christos, or Yeshua, Yeshaya, or Yahweh. So in the book of Matthew, the first chapter, it says these are the generations of Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? And it goes into the lineage of Judites, you know what I'm saying? You know, King David's in there, you know, Solomon was in there, you know, and they were all Judites, man. You know what I'm saying? Joseph, the one who begat Yahushua, you know what I'm saying? He was Judah, because how else could Yahushua be a Judite? You know what I'm saying? How else could King Solomon be a Judite if his father wasn't a Judite? You know? Back in his Numbers 1 and 18, it says by the house of their fathers, you know, like a family tree. It says according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their poles. You know what I'm saying? So you are what your father is. You come out the nutsack of your father. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, you know, because the woman doesn't bear seed. She carries seed, you know what I'm saying? She nurtures the seed, but it doesn't develop in her. You know what I'm saying? This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. It says, and when you see into this word God, you know, that's why you got to go into the Hebrew text. It will be Elohim. You know what I'm saying? It says, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. You know what I'm saying? So in order for trees to multiply, you got to plant their seeds, man. You know what I'm saying? And when it says whose seed is in itself, look at an apple tree. An apple forms on a tree. You know what I'm saying? And within the apple is a seed that pretty much when you plant that apple seed coming from that apple, coming from that tree, the whole process starts all over again. You know what I'm saying? So an apple tree bears seed within itself. You know what I'm saying? That's yielding fruit after his kind. You know what I'm saying? You know, so pretty much and you go grab grab an apple and you grab the little small seeds and stuff, and you could put it in any type of dirt. That dirt represents in representation, the dirt represents the woman, because what do the woman do? She nourishes the seed that's placed in her. That's the sperm cell. You know, even science said itself that men hold XY chromosomes and women have XX or YY chromosomes. But the XY chromosome holder, you know what I'm saying, the wielder, he's the one that has the which is the male, determines if it's male or female. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's the same thing when it comes down to the male. You know, this is Genesis. I mean, this is it's the same way for the male. This is Genesis chapter 1. Verse 27, it says, so Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them. And Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. You know what I'm saying? Multiply is the word rabah. It's ra, ba, and ha, rabah. It says be or become great. Be or become many. Be or become much. Be or become numerous. You know what I'm saying? It says to become many, become numerous, multiply of people, animals, and things, to be or grow great, to make large, enlarge, increase, become many. You know what I'm saying? To multiply. You know, and what's the way for male and female to multiply? That's through I believe the word is computation, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much through sex, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? And who's the one that has the seed that's who's the one who has the seed, you know, that's within itself? The man, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? The male and the female, you know, I'm going to focus on the male right now. When it comes down to the man, what ended up happening? You know what I'm saying? The man came from a nut sack, just like the female, but then it's the same process as in the man shooting out seed. He has a son, and the son shoot out seed and have another son, but that was that seed that came from another seed. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it says and replenish the earth. Back in verse 28, it says replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? So even when it comes down to the males, you know what I'm saying? They have we yield fruit after our own kind. You know what I'm saying? You know, whose seed is in ourselves, in the man, you know? Like pretty much, in other words, to make it a little bit more simpler, with me being a man, I came out a nutsack, but and that held male and female. You know what I'm saying? Right now, every man, including myself, hold male and female in my nutsack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a seed that could bear seed. You know what I'm saying? This is 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 10. It says, therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisses against the wall. Now it said pisses against the wall. Women can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know? And the thing is that the Lord was saying that he was going to cut off the continuation of Jeroboam's family. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because well, he was doing wicked. But the thing is that Jeroboam, he's like the Lord's. I'll read again. This is 1 Kings 14:10. It says, therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pissed against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that it's the male that continue on because he's the one who holds the seed. You know what I'm saying? You know, woman doesn't have seed. Woman can't go around landing seed, you know, in wombs. You know what I'm saying? You know, because she wasn't created to be that. She was created to be the dirt, and the man holds the seed. You know what I'm saying? And it says, and him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as a man take away dung till it be all gone. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord was saying that he gonna cut off Jeroboam's generation from family. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the man that does the multiplication through the process between male and woman having sex. You know, this is Exodus chapter 1 verse 16. You know, and this was going into the persecution of the Israelites, where this was the Pharaoh that didn't know Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And he was ruling the Israelites with rigor and stuff, and it was a certain fear if any of the enemies came against Egypt, that since the nation of Israel's men was more strong, and even the women, but more stronger, powerful, and lively. You know what I'm saying? That if they had joined up with the enemies and stuff, that they'll overthrow Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? So Pharaoh's idea was that, hey, you know, we gonna kill off all the men. This is Exodus chapter 1 verse 16. It says, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. It says, and he said, verse 16, and he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. Why? Because the thing is that you kill off the man. You know what I'm saying? You kill off the man, then that nation cannot continue. You know what I'm saying? You know, it says, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the only way to get another a female Israelite is through the man. So if you kill off the man, you kill off the nation. You know what I'm saying? You know? And you know, so you know, it ain't no, you are what your father is. It ain't no, oh, you gotta have both Israelite mom and an Israelite father just so you could be an Israelite, or it ain't no the Israelite father and a heathen woman. The children couldn't be an Israelite. No, it ain't like that. You are what your father is. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures in Matthew 13 about the wheat and the tares. If a Egyptian man has sex with an Israelite woman, he's going to continue on his nation. You know what I'm saying? Because he's of a nation, you know, that can, he can multiply his nation because it's in his process to plant seeds because he's a man, you know. So when it comes down to the wheat and the tares, the one that sold tares are pretty much heathens, you know what I'm saying? Who had sex with Israelite women and was multiplying his nation, you know what I'm saying? Like Bill Clinton's son. Bill Clinton's son looked like a Jake, you know what I'm saying? But he's a son of the Edomite, you know, because Bill Clinton's son is the seed where that came from Bill Clinton, you know, the seed that was within himself, you know, a heathen though. And I hope this video was edifying, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to elect, which you ought to be. Shalom and a Abba.